My first ukulele arrived today and I'm so excited, and I wanted to video myself opening it up so I could share it with you. Okay, anyway, the story of the kind that I picked is a little bit of a long one, and I will discuss that probably in separate videos though, because it would make this one way too long. I want this to mainly be about the ukulele itself. Now, I've heard that some people don't like the pronunciation, ukulele. I actually had never even heard that pronunciation until about 12 days ago, as of the time I'm filming. It might take me a couple days to get it edited and put up, but I'd always heard ukulele, right? I think most of us have, my whole entire life, including from my grandmother, who spent 4 years living in Hawaii with my grandfather and my father. My father actually went to 4 years of high school because I think they might, yeah, I guess they divvy it up the same way now, don't they? Right. Anyway, he went to 4 years of high school there on Oahu, and they brought back an ukulele. I don't know if it was a real one or not, or a toy. I just remember it being around the house and nobody really knew how to play it. It was wooden though, so even if it was a toy, it was probably pretty decent. But I don't know. Don't know what ever became of it, to tell you the truth. But no one knew how to play it. But anyway, the point is, even from them, I heard it pronounced ukulele. And it wasn't until I started catching it on some current videos that I started watching recently that I started catching the pronunciation ukulele. Ukulele. Isn't that right? Okay, anyway. I love Hawaiian culture. It's beautiful. I love it. So I actually do prefer the Hawaiian pronunciation, even if I'm not doing it perfectly. However, because it is a pronunciation that is relatively new to me, in spite of the fact I do think it is prettier, at least to my ear, I do find that more pleasing. I probably will do a little bit of going back and forth, if for nothing else, just from the lifelong habit of saying ukulele. Anyway, I was going to actually get a completely different model to begin with, but two people helped me come to realize, along with some of my own questions, and then the two people had some advice that came at a very well-matched time in relation to some of the questions I was actually starting to have. And well, long story short, I ended up choosing an entirely different model to begin with. This particular ukulele did not come with a tuner. Some do. Some come in packages with a tuner. So I bought one separately. But look at this. I actually noticed it's sticking out the bottom of the box. This was not put together very well. I don't know, Amazon packers. Normally my boxes are very secure, but I've never gotten a box this big before. This one definitely leaves some things to question. I hope this tuner is actually going to be okay, and thankfully it didn't fall out, but I did want to show you this. Let me just get this cut open here. Anyway, this is so exciting for me because I've spent so many hours. I'll talk about it in different videos. I've spent so many hours researching and just really trying to figure out something decent that, you know, I don't think anyone wants to break the bank when they're getting a first ukulele, but at the same time I did want something with a nice tone, because I knew that if it didn't have a decent enough tone, that I might not want to play it at all. I've also heard that sometimes when people get too cheap of a beginner's model, that the quality is so bad, not only in terms of sound, but in playability, and not only for this instrument, but really any instrument, and that sometimes it can actually really kind of keep a student really from learning, especially with kids, I think, because it can either be difficult to play or next to impossible, if not impossible, to get a nice sound no matter what you do. Anyway, so here we are. Oh my gosh, it's so tiny compared to that box. I ended up choosing the Flight Travel model. I had actually always figured I would probably get one of these. It just wasn't going to be what I was going to start with. And the reason for that primarily was that it's a soprano size. And I really had wanted to start with the concert size. So Flight, if you're ever listening to this, please come out with concert. Some people want even bigger. People want these in bigger sizes if you haven't gotten that message yet. If this was available in a concert size, I probably wouldn't have spent so much time researching for another model. But in the end, I decided to go for this, and I'll get to that at a later point as to why. But first, let's take a look at this, because this is just too exciting. Alright, I want you to be able to see it as well as me. Okay, it's inside its little case. Isn't that nice? Oh, that's so cute. That's pretty. It's actually a darker color than I thought it was going to be. When I've seen this in photos, it actually looked more like a royal blue, and this is more like a navy blue. I actually like this shade a little bit better than what it looked like to me in the photos, and truthfully, I'm looking at this showing up in the camera screen, and it's actually still looking a little brighter than if I turn it this way. It really looks like a navy blue or almost a midnight blue, and I really like this shade a lot. I probably will get another case for this. I know that these travel ukuleles, I've heard people say that they're practically indestructible, but this doesn't really feel like it's padded. So it may not need it. This model really may not need extra protection, but I might get it a little stronger of a case. But I'm happy that it comes with one. Look at how cute this is. It's so little. Alright, this is so cute. Look at this, it's so pretty. I like this color. This is a color that's within a color range that I really like. I love aquas. A lot of people are calling aqua teal these days. I don't think it's the people's doing for that. I think that companies actually started coming out with things in shades of aqua. I've taken art classes for a really long time, and one time I should show you what teal actually looks like. It's dark, and I don't think it's the most attractive color. What a lot of people are calling teal these days is really has been for decades and decades called aqua. Light shades of aqua. This is actually a little more green than aqua, but it's still within a range that I really, really, really like. Now, I have never played ukulele before, so this is my first ukulele. I'm guessing that's not totally in tune. I don't know. But anyway, I am really excited that this is here. So this is what has turned out to be my first ukulele or ukulele. I'm going to have to work on even my Hawaiian pronunciation a little bit, because I love it when I can get as close to proper pronunciation on things from various languages as I can, even though I know I can't quite get it perfectly because I didn't grow up with those languages, but I still like to try. So anyway, I'm looking forward to what I will be able to do with this ukulele in the future. And hey, so let me know in the comments below if you either have one of these, have had one of these, thinking about getting one, have heard one, played with one, anything, and what your thoughts and opinions of it were. I'd love to know. So first I have to tune it, alright? Stay tuned, because I plan to document my journey with my ukulele and share it here on YouTube for anybody who might care or find humor in it. Anyway, alright, if you liked it, stick around and we'll be back with more.